Alright, we're heading to the gym right now. Gonna do some back and biceps. Not my normal gym. Going to 24-hour. Actually, it is my normal gym when I'm not in Long Beach. Going to 24-hour fitness in Redlands. I used to work for 24-hour fitness. Developed a little bit of a hatred toward them, but this gym's cool. Got my lady driving my car. You know you got a good girlfriend when you drive a Ford Focus and she still checked you out and liked you, so that's cool. Listening to 93.5 K-Day, LA station. If you're in LA, it's the best hip-hop station ever. And I'll check back in with you guys after the workout footage is over. You got anything to say?
No, I'm just ready to kill it.
Kill it? What's the best part about being my girl?
You feed me very well.
Yes, cook. Cook for your woman. Cook for her. She won't leave you. Better not. What's up, y'all? This is Chris Albert with Getting Shredded. I am recording this because they play some really lame-ass music in 24-hour fitness, and I don't want you to hear it. Starting off here, we're going to do some deadlifts in a bit. So one of the things I like to do before I do deadlifts is loosen up the hips a good bit. You see me here working out my IT band, trying to roll that shit out, get rid of any knots that are going to inhibit my movement, inhibit my reaction time, and getting my hips to the bar. This was a part of training that I neglected a lot when I was younger, and I really regret it. I developed quite a few muscle imbalances, and I don't think that I became as strong as I could possibly be because my flexibility was really limiting me. So I make a real effort on it now, and as I've told you guys, I worked on it all winter, really trying to hammer out a lot of those muscle imbalances that I had. See me here warming up with 135. I use a standard deadlift form. I don't use the sumo form usually. I just don't find it comfortable. I don't like the way my fingers kind of get caught on my shorts. If I was wearing tights or something like that, it'd probably be cooler, but you know, I don't like tights too much. Got the GF working out. She is doing some deadlifts as well. Coming down, trying to work on her form a good bit. She's preparing for her first bikini show, so I really try to train her like I train guys. I train all my girls like I train guys. I have them do compound movements. Girls really respond well to compound movements. They're not going to make you big or bulky. They're not going to make you crazy. Steroids make girls big and bulky, and I don't really recommend, especially girls training for bikini, to use steroids. If you're IFBB pro bodybuilder, that's one thing, but girls training for bikini or even figure sometimes, you know, you don't need that kind of chemical enhancement. Coming on here with 225. One thing about the bar we were using, this bar is bald. This bar is completely bald, so it really messed with my grip. It was thin, so I was able to get my hands around it, but it was bald. So one thing I don't like to do that you're going to see me do, sorry, my dogs are going crazy. One thing I'm going to do later on that I don't really like to do is put straps on, but I use it on my heaviest set today. Got Shauna coming in. She's deadlifting 135 like a champ. She's actually really strong. She was a collegiate runner. She was a cross-country athlete. So one of the things we're working on with her is getting her shoulders to sit back a little bit more. Working on her posture, because runners, they tend to build from the front, so I really try to build up her posterior chain. You can she's got some pretty good glutes, pretty good hamstrings, and we've really built those up from when she was a runner. She ran for Cal State San Bernardino on the cross country team and was a really good athlete. So you see me coming in here with 315, and because the bar is bald, it feels like a lot heavier, but whatever. I don't make excuses or anything like that. Hit this for 5. Wasn't trying to go too crazy or anything like that. You're not going to see me go too heavy today. I do work my way up to 405, but again, that's not real heavy, and I'll try to get some future videos at Metroflex where I'm going a little bit heavier for you. Also, it's really a pain sometimes to work out at these corporate gyms and deadlift because they don't really have dedicated areas. This gym is actually really good. They have the round plates. I hate deadlifting with hex plates because the plates can get really uneven. You hit the ground unevenly, and that could really mess you up, especially if you're doing multiple reps. You really have to take a pause in between. Shauna's here with 185. This is a good weight for her. She is not that heavy at all, so this is over her body weight. Trying to really maintain her form. Her ass comes up a little bit high at first, and basically what I told her to do was sit her butt down a little bit. For those of you whose butts come down or come up too fast when you're lifting, one thing I suggest is in between reps you really reset yourself, get yourself down there, take an extra second, and reset your butt so that you can get it up. The bar should not be traveling far away from your legs. You should have, I like the bar going up my legs the entire way. Here you're going to see me working with 405. I've got my straps there, and I don't like to do these on deadlifts. I do like to use them for other back movements, but not deadlifts. Really try to work on my grip strength when I'm doing my deadlift. So really frustrated me about how bald this bar was, but I get it for a good number of reps. Really wasn't trying to go too crazy or anything like that today. But, you know, it is what it is. Trying to build that back thickness, build those rear traps, and build those erectors. So, and really, because I worked my hamstrings out the other day, I felt this a lot in my hamstrings. My butt's coming up a little bit high, but my back was pretty flat and set myself pretty good, so held my form well there. Working into bent rows. Now, one thing about the bent row that I like to tell people is that you need to pull into your waist. So pull your elbows back, pull through your elbows, pretend there's a line through from your pinky through your elbow, and that's what you're pulling with. Pull it into the waist. Don't pull it above the belly button. Otherwise, you're working other parts of your back. I'm trying to hit my lower lats here, not trying to hit my rear delts or my upper back or anything like that. Trying to hit my lower lats there. I got Shauna practicing it over here with the bar in a second. The video was messed up for a second, but got her working out with the bar there. Basically what I'm telling her is to get a good stretch at the bottom, try to get that full range of motion going on. Keep that flat back. A lot of people are like, how do you do these exercises without getting an ache in your back? Well, it's because of the hip hinge. Pushing your hips back, not bending over, but pushing your hips back. You see how she's back there with a perfectly flat back and her butt sticking out, and she's on her heels. Really good form there. See me working here. I think I'm working with either 185 or 205. We did this for, I think, 4 sets. Didn't really show them all here on the video because I didn't want to give you guys a 30-minute video, but again, pulling into the waist, pulling those elbows back toward my torso so that they're parallel with my torso, getting a good stretch at the bottom, and getting it for about 8 reps. I like to work, sometimes I work with heavier volumes, sometimes I work within 8 to 12 reps, and I switch it up. A lot of times, I think all workouts should be based around compound movements, but where you want to change things up a lot of times is the rep schemes. So sometimes I'll go a lot of reps, sometimes I'll go 8 to 12 reps, sometimes I'll go 6 to 8 reps. It's really a matter of hitting different muscle fibers and stimulating them all at one point in time. And I try to do this with my athletes as much as possible, really varying the rep schemes, varying the loads. Of course, working with the compound movements and perfecting them, but doing variations of them so that you get stronger in different planes and are able to build muscle, three-dimensional muscle in all the different areas. Here you see me working the pull down. I'm not doing a complete range of motion at the top, and I'm coming down. One thing I see a lot of people flaring their elbows out to the sides. Don't do that. This movement should be a reverse of the overhead press. You should keep your elbows in. You're really going to feel a difference. You don't have to try it, but try it. See the difference. Let me know what you think. feel how well you're activating those muscles. The elbows should be pointed at the ground at the bottom of the movement. They should not be pointed behind you. Otherwise, you are working your rear delts. I know a lot of people who tell me they don't get much out of this movement. If you do it right, you will feel it a lot differently. See me there coaching Shauna, telling her to keep her elbows in, really telling her to keep the pressure on there. I like using a false grip on my pull exercises, a lot of them. I tend to feel it a little bit better in my lats, but if you like the thumb over your thumb over the bar, that's fine too. Getting her hair, she's going a little bit higher rep than I did. Not trying to build her up too much. Her upper body's already pretty good for bikini category, but we are trying to just refine her a little bit and sharpen her up in the coming weeks before her bikini competition. Shauna's doing the seated row here. Again, not too much swinging here, but what we are doing is getting a good stretch at the front and then bringing the chest to the bar, trying to squeeze those elbows back, put them toward the wall, and feel the middle of your back and your rhomboids working. Try to work to feel it. We can't see our backs while we're working them, so you really have to develop that nerve perception while you're doing it. And she's doing a really good job of that here. You see those guns, those arms on her, doing pretty well. We're both pretty white. We haven't gotten tans in a while, even though we live in Southern California, but we'll work on that after March. I'll start working on my tan. Until then, you can see my white, hairy, pale sexiness all over the place. She looks a little bit better than I do, but she looks a lot better than I do. But, you know, is what it is. Sorry for the dead space here, guys. I was getting a little bit frustrated with turning the camera on and off, and just had to do it. So, getting a good stretch forward, coming back. Trying to do the reps slowly. I'm not trying to swing it. Really controlling the movement, trying to feel the back. I'm not using a lot of weight here. I'm past my heavyweight movements. Really just trying to start to feel those other parts of the back. Feel that the rhomboids in the middle back working and getting them as stimulated as possible. Going to move on here in a second to preacher curls, and I like doing this variation of the preacher curl where the arm is up and down, perfectly vertical. I like keeping the fingers pointed at the ceiling, the wrist as straight as possible, to try and really stimulate the bicep. Otherwise, I feel a lot of times you're really working your forearms, and I get more of a forearm pump out of it when I try to pronate and supinate my wrists. But really just trying to twist that dumbbell in there and trying to stimulate the bicep as much as possible, stimulate both heads as much as possible. This guy who was doing tricep pushdowns over here, he had his headphones on and he was singing loud as hell. I wish that there wasn't this awful music playing in the background so that you could hear him, but he was like screaming in the middle of the gym. It was pretty freaking cool. I don't mind people like that. I like people who are a little bit unhinged, and it's great to have in a gym environment. Sean is doing a little bit high rep here. Again, just trying to get some blood flow into her muscles. We don't need to build her up too much for bikini. She's got some good muscle up there. You see those guns going, sexy guns. Really great girlfriend. Comes out to lift with me, and for those of you guys who've been trying to get your girl to lift with you, or your boyfriend, whatever, doesn't matter, free world, you know, one thing you want to do is really not try to get them to do something else besides what you're doing. Again, girls should be training like guys. They need compound movements just like we do. The differences are in nutrition, and they're not going to get bulky without drugs. So that's a great part of having her as a girlfriend, is that she loves doing this stuff, and I like doing it with her. She's a great training partner. Working here with the 45s, going a little bit fast. This is a little bit heavy for me. Again, trying to get some blunt force trauma on those biceps, trying to get them to trying to shock them into growing again. They got a little bit small over the winter because I haven't worked them. I didn't work them from probably before November all the way through just like 3 weeks ago. I didn't work biceps at all. Was just doing a lot of Olympic lifting and getting my work on them through that. But got them going now. Again, 45s, trying to get those up. One thing about these 24-hour fitness 45s that you see here, especially this kind, one thing about these dumbbells of this make, I really think that they're lighter than they're supposed to be. And I'm not trying to hate on anybody or anything like that, but I've been to 24-hour fitnesses with these rubber dumbbells, and I could do the seated press with 120s. Now, if I go into Metroflex and try to do the seated press with 120s, it's a way different story. A lot different as far as using the metal iron plates, iron weights. And I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody who's done the 120s with the 24-hour fitness dumbbells, but they just don't feel the same to me. This 24-hour fitness actually has metal dumbbells as well as the stock dumbbells that you see at most 24-hour fitnesses and LA fitnesses. But man, like I said, those weights feel so much lighter. I can do a whole lot more at these places than I can at my home gym, Metroflex Gym, Long Beach. It's just a statement, like I said, not trying to hate anybody. Hope you guys enjoy the workout. Finishing up with a little bicep curl. Going a little bit heavy here. But if you have any questions for me, hit me up, gettingtoshredded@gmail.com. And that is that. Take care, guys. Baby, you know I love the way you deadlift.
I know you do.
It's so hot.
Like, want you to stick my ass out there?
Well, you didn't need to say all that. But good workout. Just nibbled on some candy. And then we're going to go home and eat some really healthy food. So I'll talk to you guys later.